So studio photography can seem a little bit daunting. It's actually quite simple and quite easy if you think about it. It's actually quite simple and easier to use studio light than it is in a way to use natural light. That's just my opinion. You guys can argue that in the comments if you want, but let's just think about some of the variables here with studio lighting. With studio lighting, you pick the shape, the size of modifier you want, the light and the power setting you control. So you control all the main variables of the whole lighting setup. What you want to achieve is entirely up to you. So this is why I think studio lighting is simple and easy. But if you're new to studio photography, it can all seem a little bit overwhelming sometimes. Yes, you can get overwhelmed by seeing what other people are doing on social media, online, on YouTube, whatever, using 3-4 lights. Yes, it can seem a really cool idea, but for you, someone who's never used that or never done that before, it can be a bit challenging. And the one thing you don't want to do when you get into a studio is to be fiddling around your light with lights and settings, etc., while your model's here, while your makeup artist is here, your stylist is here, and even your creative director. So the idea is to keep it simple, or the KISS method, the keep it stupid simple method. Start off with one light and then build your way up to more lights until you're comfortable with using one light in the studio. I wouldn't recommend going with more than one light, and some of the things you can do with one light is absolutely amazing. And there's 3 one light setups that I personally use on pretty much all my shoots. And the positive thing about this as well is you can add more lights to these setups to help elevate them to the next level. So for our first setup, we're going to go with a 45-degree angle, and we're positioned about 3 foot away from our model. This particular style is reminiscent to Rembrandt. Also, please bear in mind, the further away your subject is from the background, the darker, depending on your settings, the darker the background will be. And the closer your subject is to the light, the softer the light going to be as well. So for our first setup, we've positioned our model about 5 foot away from our backdrop. And for our light, we have positioned our light at a 45-degree angle. This particular setup is reminiscent of the famous painter Rembrandt. So let's go ahead now and take some portraits with this setup so that you guys can see what it looks like. Right, 1, 2, 3. That, like if you're doing a So for setup number 2, what we've done is move our light to the front of Alex, as well as lift our light slightly higher. It's still at a 45-degree angle, but we've lifted it slightly higher. What this is going to do is cast a really nice defined shadow on the cheeks. This is a lighting setup that I predominantly use if I'm shooting male subject. It works fantastic. So let's go ahead and show you what this actually looks like. He's also positioned exactly the same place, 5 feet away from the backdrop, and the light is now about roughly around the same area as well from him. So let's go ahead and take some shots of that. Chin down. Yeah. Bonus one light tip is to shoot with light behind Alex and then shooting towards camera. You have to be conscious of this lighting setup as well, because you can tend to sometimes have flare in your camera. So your setting is also crucial. Yeah, right there. Come over. Perfect. So now, because I'm not going to see your face, turning towards the side, a profile shot, which I tried the other side. Let me see what it looks like. A profile shot might be